Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Look at who's still on this platform. I have been very hit and miss, I know, I'm sorry. But I wanted to get into a bit less complicated or how to say, demanding videos, and getting ready with you kind of is one of those. And I wanted to put it together with getting ready with exciting new makeup. I'm not going anywhere today, but I wanted to play with makeup because I just received an exciting palette that I ordered with Beautybay's 20% off discount. And I went to Sephora in Germany a few weeks ago now with my friend Mariam. You find her here on YouTube. We also collabed together. I will link her channel down below. But I have a few new things and I wanted to try them on camera with you and just have a chit chat. Just to do makeup, not much more. I started with my brows. I did them with my Nabla brow pot because it takes a while and it's not exciting. I want to show you another brow product later, but we'll go through that. And it's a little bit of just taking a look at new products, but also some favorites and yeah, just doing my makeup, honestly. It's therapy. I just need to feel better, and doing my makeup is what is gonna do it for me today. And we're gonna do a full-on fall makeup look. I am quite still summery, but it's like 30 degrees today here. Let's start out with eyeshadow then, since the palette is new. I actually have two new palettes, but let me prime my eyes first. This is my usual Milani eye primer that is in my project pan. And about my project pan, I haven't updated you in ages, and let me know if you want me to, because it's been a long time, but I haven't really done a lot of progress. But maybe it's a good thing to check at the end of this month. Could be, you know, quarterly also refresh. Here is the palette. This is the Melt Rust palette. I've done a dupe video to this, a duping the buy video to this, convincing myself not to buy it. But since recently I only do my makeup for, I don't know, I wouldn't say special occasions, but like when I go out it becomes a special occasion. So I am keeping it very neutral. I'm not doing very crazy makeup or being very creative with it lately. It's not the vibe I'm in. As Mariam would say, the rainbow is over. And when Beautybay had a 20% off sale, I couldn't resist, and this is it. Let me know if you want to see an actual dupes for it, if it's still something interested, if it's still something that you are tempted to buy. I can look into my singles and find actual dupes. I think that video was pretty close, but still I couldn't not buy it. I don't know, it really called my name. The other palette that I bought, and this was part of the Sephora trip to Germany with Mariam, is the bronze palette. And as you can see, I've used it already a few times. This is gorgeous, and maybe we're gonna use a little bit of these shimmers since the Rust palette doesn't have many, but I want to try the Rust palette because it's new, just arrived today. So I'm going to start with the lightest shade, Classic, which is like a yellow toned butter shade, and just set my primer, and especially on the crease area, just so that the shadows will blend nicely. It actually does quite a good whiteout, let's say, effect. Look at that on my eyes. I'm just setting my primer. I haven't done this in a while, and this is also actually quite a good underneath the brow highlight. I haven't done those in a long time because palettes nowadays don't have these shades anymore, for a good reason. I mean, we all have these shades in our collection, but I don't know, somehow now, since I've been without them for a long time, I enjoy having a palette with it. And this is really just like a everyday standard palette, I guess, for me. I'm very much into the warm, more neutral these days, neutrals. Like not warm, not too cool, neutrals. For that reason, I'm gonna go into Antique next. My apologies for my nails. I have yet to redo them, probably tonight. And this is like a peachy tones transition. Reminds me a lot of Peach Smoothie, which I've showed you from Makeup Geek in my previous video And I think this was one of the things that I used to do a lot at the beginning when I learned to do smoky eyes, or just finding my technique and learning to do my makeup, was to take gradients of colors and build from lightest down to darkest in a way that would be easier to blend, rather than starting from the darkest shade and then blending outwards. That I always found more difficult to... You needed more time and patience that time I have, patience I don't. Going in with a smaller brush and the shade Rust, which is the namesake, and I expect this, there's a bit of kick up in the pan, but I expect this to be a bomb. Just very carefully, because I know Melt Cosmetics eyeshadows can be very pigmented, so I don't want to have too much on my brush and have to blow out the shading too far. This is actually, you see on the eye, doesn't look as warm as in the pan, I think. Maybe it's the afternoon light that is also not so warm on this side of the house. I'm on the front, which is where the sun shines in the morning. But, oh, this is way more neutral than I expected, which I think I actually liked. I am a little bit, yeah, I've been using the Natasha Denona the bronze palette lately, and it's been very warm heavy. Then again, like, my wardrobe is very warm heavy and it suits my colors, so I'm not worried, but I like to have the options to go a little bit more neutral. Oh, I like this a lot. And to be honest, this is like the most basic eyeshadow that you could do. No revolutionary things here. I'm gonna go in with Mar, just using the mattes in a gradient, as I said, and just applying it on the outer corner to intensify, and then gently into the crease, but making sure I don't bring it too high, because what I'm trying to do here is the illusion that there's more crease and that my hood of my hooded eye is receded. So that is the gradient that you see, and the same on the other side. And it's not precise. I'm also, I have to say, very overcut creases. I'm overseeing them on Instagram. I don't know how you guys think about it, but I don't like seeing them on Instagram, these rainbow P. Louise style. It's just done and redone by so many people in so many ways. It's not original anymore. There's only so much you can do. And yes, it's artistry and skill, but it doesn't really, I don't know, improve how the person with the makeup looks. It's really just for Instagram, and I don't know that I like that. I'm maybe moving a little bit towards more just beauty makeup, you know, just makeup that makes the person looks better. I'm taking the brush that I had the light shade and blending here a little bit, because you can see that I got a little bit of darkness, and my eye shape doesn't really, I don't know, it doesn't look really that good if there's too much darkness in the inside. I'm actually taking a little bit more of that light shade and brightening it up, and you can see that it gives immediately a different vibe. And that is the patience of being careful with blending. But if you have an eraser shade like this, it does a great job. Really loving that. I am going to take the darkest shade Rot 2 with a little smudger brush and see if I can do, instead of eyeliner, just use that as oh yeah, this is really deep and dark. I like that. Just on the lash line to add some depth, and then I'm taking that fluffy, this is the Nabla, oh goodness, that's really small, pointed crease brush. I really like this. It's from the Nude collection, and just going over it to smoothen and soften the edges. Ooh, love that. You can see the difference. Really liking that. And the quality of these eyeshadows is incredible. Nothing unexpected. I mean, I have Gemini from Melt Cosmetics that I love, and I have Smoke Sessions and the Radioactive palette. I think I have videos on all of those. but I really like the formula. I never went for the really colorful, so for the Vida y Muerte palettes I didn't buy, and I didn't get the 420 palette because simply, I don't know, reviews weren't great, colors that are difficult to make. These are pretty staples. And now to pick a shimmer. What should I do? I kind of want to do Redux right here with a little bit of this on the outer edge and see how it looks. Again, bit of kick up, and I picked up actually a lot of Redux, applying it in the center and inner part of my eye. Oh, beautiful. Again, kind of a different shade, I see at least. Very pretty. It has nothing to do with the shimmers in the Natasha Denona. I want to just put it out there, but it's a beautiful neutral, warm, not neutral, it's a warm shimmer. Definitely comes up really nicely with a brush. It's not particularly glittery or shiny, but look at this, very simple. I'm flipping my brush and taking a little bit of Ravage, this shade right here, and applying that as a transition between my dark mattes and my other shimmer. And this one here has a more neutral base, like a darker base and a more neutral shine and shimmer on top as well. I hope what I'm saying makes sense. Anyways, beautiful, really happy with that. We're gonna finish the eyes later because I want to go and do my face makeup. Just checking for, ooh, lots of fallout from the shimmer here. I just did this and now it's all very shiny. Let me sweep that off, but not really too much from the mattes. I am doing my typical, I never showed you this, my mix of base. I talked about it in my favorites. I'm taking a little bit, just a little turd of the Herborian Bamboo Matte powder cream that my friend Stefania gifted me. And I've used it as a primer before. I don't really use a moisturizer, a mattifying moisturizer without SPF because I don't want to have extra steps on my skin in the morning. So I use it as a primer on top of my SPF. And then my little Nabla sample sized of their foundation. I am in the shade L50. I actually might be finishing this soon-ish. And I just mix it on the back of my hand with my Real Techniques buffing brush and apply it starting from the center of my face. I found that this way of applying, of mixing the foundation with the mattifying cream gives me the best and most long-lasting base that I've had in a long time, because the foundation in itself, I find I get actually quite shiny from it after a few hours. I mean, it's not bad, but it doesn't last me all day. Instead, if I mix it in with this cream, it does so much better. And I didn't put enough, or rather, it's probably all in the brush. Let me do some more because we haven't really covered all of the skin. And I also get a bit of less coverage from the foundation mixing it in. You're pretty much diluting it effectively, and I like less coverage. I mean, I don't really care for coverage. I have these sunspots, for example. I don't need to cover them. They kind of look like freckles that I don't naturally have, and I'm here for it. It just really covers my I don't know, color differences, uniforms my skin tone. Looks cute. It's a bit dark for me with my neck, but I just need to fake tan. I forgot about it. Now, concealer. I am using the NARS Creamy Concealer, the mini part of my project pan. This is in the shade Vanilla. I love this concealer. This is still, every time I use them, like, yeah, this is why. It's still on the top of my favorites, but it's also an expensive concealer. So I had been, let's say, hoarding it or saving it. I have also a full size that I bought for my wedding a long time ago, and I'd been saving it for no reason other than it's expensive, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna only use it in special occasions. That, I think that philosophy is now out of the door, simply because every time I leave the house or I wear makeup and I go somewhere, it becomes a special occasion nowadays with this whole social distancing. It seems like actually things are going to go worse. In the Netherlands, the number of cases is increasing. I think we've had today 1,500 new cases. So that's a bit concerning. And I'm lucky that I can work completely from home. So my actually exposure to humanity is very limited, and limited only to going to the grocery store. Sometimes I see friends, but literally on a one-on-one basis or on a couple basis, and then we go for food and we just stay at a distance. Yeah, I don't know. I am setting the center of my face as usual with my Neve Cosmetics powder. Also my Project Pen, as you can see, the pan is getting big, but it's nowhere near being finished. I don't know if I'll ever manage. What is left on the brush, I'll set the concealer with, because I'm not a spring chicken anymore. I have lines under my eyes. Also, I am already feeling so much perkier just by doing my makeup, you guys. I'm so happy. Let's finish the eyes now. I am taking the Nabla Cupid's Arrow number 2, is this, I think? Yes, this is the brown one, the dark brown one, and they just came back in stock, and I'm really happy because I love this formula. It's really super creamy, and you can use it as a base as well as a liner. I was gonna say thank you to the teenager on a scooter. That was not a teenager on a scooter. I look like an old man on a scooter. And then just smudging them out. These set quite quickly, so you have to work with them if you're using them, especially as a base. I did the first impressions, was it a first I even maybe a review on this collection, on the Cuties collection when these came out, and I had a bit of trouble with the purple one because I used it as a base for my eye look, and I applied it on both eyes, but I only had time to blend it on one eye properly, and on the other eye it didn't really work out perfectly. Just blending further with my concealer brush because I had made a little bit of a mistake, and going back into Antique just for a swoop under the eyes, blending, smoking. Do you smoke? I haven't smoked in some good 8 years. 8 years probably, something like that. I used to smoke a lot. I want to do something glittery and impactful on my inner corner, so I'm taking out bronze, and I wanted to use it on camera, but I'm gonna do a dedicated video comparing the dupes that I chose to talk myself out of it and the actual palette, and like I did with the Natasha Denona Gold. I'll link here the Duping the Vibe video, and then you'll see a comparison and what shades I would have changed, what is actually closer of a dupe to this one. In the meantime, I'll be taking Silk, which is kind of the only shade that for me is light enough for an inner corner highlight, but it is beautiful. And I am quite decided not to get the Natasha Denona Glam, so the cool toned version. There are 2 reasons for that. I never wear cool tones. It's really rare for me to wear cool tones, and I have the Sultry palette. I had a kind of a more neutral cool tone look the other day using Sultry, and I think that's enough. I never use it, and I don't think I should buy a Natasha Denona eyeshadow palette for it, and it really is only like a few shades that I would like. There's only like the bottom, what is it? The bottom left quad that I'm interested in, and that's the most neutral and warm one. So clearly not my cup of tea. Plus, I am kind of waiting for her to drop a holiday collection like the Metropolis last year that is gonna blow my mind. So, one thing I wanted to do for you is compare, just here because we're here, the Rust mattes. Oh, so beautiful. We have Rust and Mar. Mar? Mar. Mar is sea in Spanish, isn't it? So I don't know why. With the two mattes in the bronze, Magma and Suntan. Completely different, I actually think. Magma, oh no, Suntan. So Magma is actually really, really similar to Rot. Just maybe a little bit more red in tone. Yeah, I got two neutral, two brown, warm brown palettes. Look at them. They are so gorgeous. Let's move on, Alice. I've been here too long, chatting and blabbing and chatting. I am applying my mascara primer from Maybelline, the Lash Sensational. This one is lasting me forever. Maybe I should throw it away just because it's old. But you see that my lashes are still coated in white? That's when you know that there's still product and you can do it, right? Going over that with the Lash Sensational mascara, which is my favorite mascara. Do you guys spend like luxury prices for mascara? If so, how come? I'd like to understand it better because I am a drugstore mascara type of girl. I actually buy these when they're 1+1 for free. So I think they're 15 euros full price, and then I buy them half off. But I'd like to understand why, what is better in luxury mascaras. I found them to be quite hit and miss. And yeah, maybe there's parts that I have missed, or like the good ones that I have missed, but I have tried like Monsieur Big from Lancôme. One that I really liked was the Benefit Roller Lash, but then it was pretty much the same effect as this. So I don't know. For my brows, I'm gonna get closer, I hope I'm still in focus. I wanted to add a little bit of strokes with my favorite of the moment, which is the Bushy Brow Pen from Lime Crime. It's really just a matter of adding a few strokes, because I find since my brow pot is getting really old, the texture of it is not as good at doing hair strokes anymore, even with a thin brush. I'm seeing more of a, like, it paints the skin underneath. So I like doing a little bit more hair stroke things with this guy. And if you have brow lamination, or when I had brow lamination done to myself by myself, I have a video on that as well. But I went on holiday and I only brought this one and my brow gel, and this just filled in the sparse areas, and my brow gel, the Dip Brow by Anastasia, would just set them in place. And I've said this multiple times, I've been using this now for over a year. This is my second tube. The best thing about the Dip Brow of Anastasia Beverly Hills is that it covers and colors your hairs. So for me, who has a little bit of a cooler toned hair color, brow color, this actually uniforms it to the rest. Let's get into exciting new bits. Ta-da! I finally bought the Milk bronzer because Sephora Germany has the Milk bronzer. It's incredible. It's fantastic. I'm so happy. I really liked it when I tried it from my friend Julia. So I was actually looking to buy the mini size because, for example, Julie has it for so long and she has not been anywhere near finishing it. And I have a lot of products, so I don't need to have more. But they didn't have the mini in the store I went to. They only had mini blushes, which I'll show you the one I bought later. So I bought the full size one. It's all fine. It's quite pigmented, but I really love the tone. The tone is so me, so much better than the Nabla one that that I was discussing recently in my monthly roundup. This tone of bronzer just suits me better. It's warmer, it's a bit more red. It just suits me better. I love this, and the formula dries down matte. It lasts all day on me. I've tested it out any time that I've used this, that I've worn makeup in the last 2 weeks since I've had it. The other item that I bought is this mini lip and cheek in the shade Quirk from Milk. It's super cute. I don't think it actually suits my makeup today at all, but I will still show you a swatch. They come with these little plastic caps, and you can see it's kind of like sticks in there. I don't like that very much. It looks really scary, but it's actually quite a nice, well, maybe it does. Nah, it's a bit too red to fit. This will be better to fit this look. But you see it's quite red, but if you blend it out as you would a blush, it shears out and it's actually quite pretty. I also have Perk from a previous purchase, and that's here. It's more rosy toned and more neutral, more natural, everyday type of a shade. But I wanted to try a different shade, and of the minis, this red one, Quirk, was the only one that really looked like something interesting to me. So that is what I got at Sephora, the milk things and the Natasha Denona, because that's pretty much the only brands that I still cannot get here in the Netherlands. I am going to apply a bit of my Blush Bomb by Flower Beauty on my cheeks as blush. Gonna put a dot there and take my Nabla buffing brush and gently, I'm left-handed, but I have swatches on here, so I applied it on here, but it's a bit complicated. I just love this. It's very pigmented. I was just talking today on Instagram with Laura from Appunti di Makeup about the difference between these and the new Maybelline Cheek Heats, I think they're called. And those are definitely more sheer, whereas these are quite pigmented. The drop that I used is actually enough for both cheeks, and I go in heavy. I mean, you see how much blush I've put on, but I love the effect. And what I've been doing lately is not wearing highlighter. I don't know why, you guys, but I don't feel like I need it. You see that the blush catches the light. It all looks fine as it is. Finally, for this look, what I'm missing is a lip. And I'm going old school, but like, I'm not talking old school, I'm talking years, 5 years ago, I don't know. Lime Grime Saddle. This one came out, yeah, I think 2016. It still smells fine, I'm just checking before I put it on, but I thought it was perfect for this look. Still one of my favorite shades, still one of my favorite formulas. This is so pretty. I haven't used it in a while, but still amazing. So this is my finished fall look. I don't think it can get much more fall than this. Maybe if I changed my shirt to more like this color would suit better. I wanted also to share, I bought new earrings. These are from Fashionology. Love them. Dutch brand. They are like eco packaging friendly, and it's gold-plated silver. So really like them. They're a bit like geometrically unstable hoops. Anyways, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know down below what you want to see of the Duping the Vibes. If you want to see, for example, the comparisons between the Rust palette and my dupes, is that still something interesting? I will be doing it for the Natasha Denona palette because it's more recent, but let me know if you want to see it also for the other one. I love duping vibes, so that's something I really like to do for you. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys!